Yo, how's it going everybody? Chadley here, and in today's video I have one of the stupidest and most broken Moze builds you guys have ever seen. Now, a couple of days ago over on stream, one of my viewers, Glenny, he brought up using the faulty star on Moze. If you guys don't know what the faulty star is, it is a new shield from DLC 4, and it says when damaged, chance to trigger a nova around the attacking enemy. And to me, this just fits so perfectly on Moze. So we went ahead and tried to optimize this as best as possible. And then with the help of another fellow Borderlands streamer and also good friend of mine, Pathy, I will have a link to his channel down below. He helped us figure out that with the bloodletter class mod and Russian offensive and the Mayhem modifier boundary issues, we can actually set off these faulty star novas constantly. So you guys can go ahead and do all content in the game pretty much without shooting a single bullet. It is ridiculous. So big shout out to those two for working on this build with me. It was a lot of fun. I will have a link to Pathy's Twitch down below if you guys want to go check him out. He is seriously amazing. But otherwise, let's jump right into this build. So the weapons on this build actually really don't matter that much. You guys can use pretty much whatever you want as long as it has the URAD anointment. So while under 50% health, deal 150% bonus radiation damage, because this is going to apply to your novas and make them deal a lot more damage. So for my Moze here, I just have two flippers. I have one with fire and shock, and then one with shock and corrosive, just for all the different enemy types. And then I have a lovable rogue on. It really doesn't matter. You guys can do whatever you want. And a plague bearer in case I just need to spam some rockets. Now for the most important part of the build, the faulty star. Just get the different resistance types because the nova that it spawns is going to be the same as its resistance type. So this one right here is going to be spawning fire novas. So I'm going to be using this on health enemies. And then obviously this corrosive one I'm going to be using on armor. Radiation is usually just a general good source for mobbing and stuff like that. In like the Malawan takedown, I'll run this a lot. For like the Guardian takedown, I will run the radiation one just because there's a lot of shields and also armor. So this one works pretty damn well in there. And then for our grenade, you guys can basically use whatever. I just have a cloning maddening tracker with on grenade throw. You guys can use seriously whatever. If you want to get really ridiculous with your novas, you can put a bonus element there on your grenade as well. But you're just going to have to spam Iron Bear a little bit more, and I usually do not like to go into Iron Bear very much with this build, except for if I need to do like boss damage, and that's why I have a bonus element on our faulty stars. But you guys do not need bonus elements at all. You can also rock the 75% increased health and shields when exiting Iron Bear on the faulty star as well. But another important must-have item for this build is a bloodletter, because we need to keep our shield full, because normally the faulty star has a cooldown on the novas, but this is eliminated if we keep the shield at full health. So with the bloodletter and Russian offensive, when you guys are sprinting around, the damage that you're doing with the novas while sprinting is going to heal your shield and keep it at full, and you guys need the bloodletter so you guys can actually have the shield regen. And stuff like that really don't matter. Just go for like splash damage and splash radius as passives. The skills really don't matter that much. They're not going to change the novas at all for you. All you really need is just the bloodletter so you guys can get the shield regen. And then finally for our artifact, we are going to be using the Atom Bomb Deathless. The Deathless portion is going to activate the URAD anointment because it's going to keep us at 1 health. And then the Atom Bomb is going to be triggered all the time because we are doing URAD. So all these enemies are going to have radiation dots on them. And also when they die, they're going to be triggering radiation explosions. So we want to get the most out of those as possible. So we are going to be running the Atom Bomb and getting the most out of those explosions. But yeah, out of the required gear, you only need 3 things. Just a gun with the URAD anointment, a bloodletter, and then your faulty star. Now for our skills, we are going to be looking at the bottomless mag skill tree first because we need to go get Russian offensive. This is the only skill in this tree that you absolutely need to be able to do this. But to get there, we are going to be doing Cloud of Lead, Stoke the Embers, because this is also going to increase our incendiary damage. And the novas are going to be getting Skag then, so they are going to be doing incendiary damage, and this is going to boost that further. Redistribution, just so we can shoot like our flippers or whatever longer, and then we just need 1 more point to get down there. So I just do Scrappy for the weapon swap speed. and then also a little bit of gun damage while we're moving. And then finally, we can get rush and offensive there, and that's really all we need here in the green skill tree. But moving on to our demolition woman skill tree, we're going to do 5 points into fire in the skag den. This is going to be applied to our novas that are spawning on the enemies and helping you guys kill them much, much quicker. And then 5 points in stainless steel bear, because this is actually boosting fire in the skag den right now. And then toward cross promotion, so our splash damage does more damage, and also we can get bigger novas spawning on them as well from time to time. And then 3 points into mean destruction, so we can get the ammo chance and the grenade chance, so you guys can just be spamming your flippers and also your grenades if you guys really want to, but you do not need to shoot with this build if you don't want to. And then pull the holy pin so our grenades can crit, and then auto bear, because auto bear is awesome. It's also going to take a little bit of heat off of you guys, but like I said, you really don't go into iron bear really all that much with this build. And then 2 points into vampire just for a little bit more healing. 1 point into to the last, so we can throw some grenades if we do happen to go down. If you guys do go down with this build, it is going to be because of barrels most likely, so just watch out for those. That's really the only thing you have to watch out for. Otherwise, you're incredibly tanky, because all the damage that you're doing is just going to heal you right back up to full shields, and you're really not going to be taking that much damage. If you guys do take damage and your shield is like, say, halfway gone, just shoot something while you're sprinting, because those novas are going to stop and that cooldown is going to start for a little bit. So if you want to get the novas going back as soon as possible, just start shooting again and we'll put you guys back up to full shields and the novas will start again. And then we're going to be using short fuse for when we are using our guns, because like Wotan, the flying half, it's a little hard to kill him with boundary issues because he doesn't always like to be super close to you. So we do need to kill things with our weapons from time to time. So for our Iron Bear, I usually just rock the nukes. You guys can use whatever weapons on the Iron Bear that makes you happy. It really does not matter. I don't use Iron Bear that much with this build anyways, but I do just like to rock the nukes for when I end up going into Iron Bear. Let's go ahead and move on to our Shield of Retribution skill tree. We're going to be rocking 5 points into Armored Infantry for the gun damage and the damage reduction, and then 5 points into Drowning in Brass for a ton extra gun damage. And then 3 points in the Thin Red Line. We're going to be getting a lot more shield with this skill. And then 2 points into Vladof Ingenuity for a little bit more shield and also recharge rate and some shock damage resistance. And then 1 point into Full Can of Whoop Ass. This is just very, very nice. If you guys get somehow really low on shield, you can just get right into Iron Bear and start recharging that shield and be ready to go when you come out. And then 1 point into Experimental Munitions, so we are doing more incendiary damage on critical hits, and then 3 points into Desperate Measures, so we can do a lot more gun damage. And then after that, we're going to be putting 5 points into Phalanx Doctrine for a ton extra gun damage per stack, and also our shields are going to get really, really high up there, and you guys are going to be super, super tanky with this. And then finally, if you guys do run into a barrel or something and you get downed, when you get down, you're going to have Tenacious Defense active to help you guys get back up. And then when you are up, you are going to be able to shoot for 30% more gun damage. And it's just super nice to have, especially for just 1 point when we are already right here. Now, the only requirement for our modifiers with this build is the hard modifier boundary issues. This is what it's going to allow us to create all those constant novas. Everything else, you guys can pick whatever you'd like. I do really like Speed Demon for this, just so we can spread those novas around quicker. But if you guys find that you're like sprinting past enemies too much, change this off to whatever other easy modifier that you guys would like. Otherwise, for medium, I would definitely suggest Healy Avenger. I just have not re-rolled to that. Right now, freeze tag is on. I don't really notice that too much. And then finally, for our very hard, I really do like buddy system with this, because the buddy systems just get destroyed. You don't even notice them with this build. I would not recommend Postmortem, because there's going to be a lot of enemies that are dying right next to you, and you are going to be getting hit by those death skulls pretty often. So I do recommend buddy system for the very hard, but the only requirement, like I said, is boundary issues. So as always, for our build videos, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to play this build. Now, we're here in true Malawan Takedown. Usually for this, I'll just run the Corrosive Faulty Star just for the armored bosses that are in here, because all of the mobs are going to be dying super quick anyways. We really don't need to cater to them that much anyways, especially since we have the URAD going. So to play this build, all you got to do is just stay sprinting. As long as you are sprinting, these novas are going to be going off when that boundary issues tendril is connected to you, and that's really all you have to do. Now, occasionally, you can be hit by a very strong attack, and your shield is going to drop to like half or 3/4, anywhere just below and it is going to stop your Novas because you are no longer at full shield and it's going to be on that cooldown. If that happens, just start shooting an enemy while you're sprinting with like your flipper or whatever, and it is going to put you back to full shield and the Novas will start again. But literally all you have to do is just sprint around and stand next to the enemies, just do circles around them, and they're going to die incredibly quickly, and you guys can have a ton of fun. So for the Kraken, once the door opens, I just let him come walking out because we can't get a boundary issue on him right away. But once he's out onto this little ledge, we can just do some circles around him. He's gonna end up dying. Just keep running circles, and eventually he will end up dead in just a couple moments. Just make sure the tendril stays there. If you do go down, it's really no big deal. Just shoot something. Your guys are doing tons of damage, and just get back up and go ahead and finish off the job. But otherwise, that's seriously all you have to do to play this build. Just sprint around. If your shield goes down, just shoot something. I would just be shooting while you're doing this anyways. You guys can get even faster clear speeds than what you guys were seeing right there. And I hope you guys have a fantastic time with Supernova Moze. If you have any questions about the build, make sure you guys let me know in the comments down below, or come over to our Twitch and ask me there. I'll be happy to help you guys out. And once again, huge shout out to Glenny and Pathy for being a part of this build with me. It was a ton of fun. This build is absolutely ridiculous. Definitely go check Pathy out over on Twitch. He's an amazing human being, and I highly recommend watching his channel. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up on it to let me know. If you guys want to see more Borderlands content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. But I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.